Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I was actually just going to the bait store to get stuff for tomorrow and this weekend to fish, and I decided to stop at a little spot and I caught a couple fish right away. I got a white bass and a drum and a couple casts. So I thought maybe I'd have maybe an hour to try to get something together here. So stay tuned. It's gonna be a short trip, but I might be able to catch a lot of fish in like an hour. So we'll see what happens. After those two fish I didn't even get on video, I can't get one more bite. It's really crazy to catch two fish and two casts and then not get a bite. Like that's just so weird. And this guy's tearing them up down there in my spot that I actually, oh, there's a fish. There we go. Feels kind of like a white bass, but could be anything. I don't know yet. Yeah, it's a white bass for sure. Maybe we found our own little school. Maybe they're just in a different spot today. Yeah, first white bass, well, second white bass. First one on video today. We got some fish busting over here too. The white bass will actually go crazy over the threadfin in here, and there'll be thousands of white bass busting. But it's not too bad. It's just a male. It's not one of the big females. Still fun to catch though. They hit like a ton of bricks. I love white bass. I moved up here where that one guy, he just left, and he was up here catching the heck out of the white bass. I think he was using a spinner. And I didn't bring any spinners with me. But if there's a school here, what I have should work. There's a fish. There's a fish. Feels like a white bass. Yes, sir. So that worked. All the way to the bottom. Okay, he just like milked me. This is a male for sure. Yeah, it's not a very big male either. It's not the biggest. But we found out something that works. So there's got to be a few big females down there with them. And he just laid on it like a log. He didn't even bite it. He just sucked it up and sat there with it. There's a fish. Fish on. Coming in just like a white bass would. Or maybe a crappie. No, it's a little white bass. Just a little dude. They're getting smaller. But this is the spot right here for him right now, because I could only catch one in my original spot when I first got here, in a drum, and then like nothing. Well, I got one other one, and that was farther down. But that guy probably caught 7 or 8 white bass when I was watching him down here earlier. And this is typically my nice little spot that I like to come to, but a lot of people fish this. It's a popular spot. Can't wait to show you guys a video when they're actually in here thick. It's pretty insane catching over 100 white bass. And they might just be running late this year. But a couple weeks ago I came down here and I caught one white bass just to make a stop down here. And when I hooked it, there was like 1,000 fish, white bass, that came to the surface with that one that I caught. And it was just black, just thousands of white bass. And I never got one more bite. Only one fish out of that giant school wanted to bite. So I'm not sure what it's going to take to turn them on. But they're not turned on right now, and neither am I. There's a fish. Oh, that's a little yellow bass. That's what's thumping me down there. Those tiny little things. They'll bite the tail right off your swim bait. There was a bite. Oh, there's a fish. That is not the fish that broke me off. Feels like a white bass. All right, we got a little bit of a chunkier white bass this time. Oh yeah. Now we're talking. And they're coming from out in the middle. Oh yeah. We're getting a little bit bigger. That's a nice white bass. They still get a lot bigger than that here. Oh, and they're starting to bust too. We got white bass busting. This could be a good evening for a second until I have to go. That's a nice little white bass. Alright, last couple casts again. Unless I get one on this cast. That's usually what I say. There's a fish. I got one on the last cast. Oh, this one's a bigger fish, or it's turning sideways like a white bass does. No, that's just a good white bass. Nice fish. Yeah. I don't know if it's quite as big as the other one, but not too bad. These are just the males. I don't think I've caught a female today. I thought maybe that big one I did, but these aren't the really chunky ones, and they're squirting everywhere again. It's definitely a male, but good fish. It's a big male. Last cast got me again. Okay, if I don't get one on this cast, I'm leaving. Oh, we got some bait fish getting chased. Topwater. And you can topwater fish for these guys too. And you can do like a 60 whopper plopper and have the time of your life catching these things when they're actually hitting topwater. Oh, there's a hit. There's a fish. There's another one. These little white bass are scrappers. Yep. One after another now, right before I'm leaving. Yeah, that's a bigger one than the last one. Awesome. These are just the males. I'm not really sure why I'm not catching the giant female ones. Only the males are biting. But that's fun. It's a lot of fun still. There's a hit. Oh, there was a fish. And that same little spot again. Oh, there's a hit. And that could be where the yellow bass are hanging out. There's a fish. There he is. Oh man, that thing's got some power to him. I don't know if it's a white bass or a drum, but he's most likely a white bass. Yeah, he's just turning sideways. The things are so crazy when they turn sideways. It's not even that big of a white bass. It's just a scrapper. I mean, he's a chunky one. He's chunky. Oh yeah, that might be my biggest one. That's a little chubby one. Yeah, that's the female right there. That's nice. That's why it felt good. It was my biggest one of the day. Oh my God. Very nice. Big old chunky white bass. That's awesome. There's a fish. That, I assume, is a white bass. It most certainly is. Every cast now.